Welcome back. This is part 3 of Lab 2 tutorial pertaining to drawing number 5. So I'm starting AutoCAD again. I go again new drawing and point to my template as we have done in the previous 4 drawings. There it is, and I'm starting new, so I need to go to layers again, layer properties, new layer. We're going to call this part, and here's the color. Click on this and then choose green. I'm going to keep this visible. And it also says line weight needs to be 0.4. Second layer, dimensions with a red color. The last one is labels with blue color. And OK. So my layers are set, and I'm ready to begin the drawing. So let's make my part layer current. Start with rectangle. It doesn't matter here where you start. The lab instructions did not specify where you're going to start. So 0, 0 is just as good as any place else. And if you look at the drawing, the main square has a dimension of 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters, which means 300 millimeters by 300. So I'm going to write at, or it doesn't matter because here we're starting from 0, 0. If you started from another point, you need to say at 300, 300. So double click and zoom out a little bit. Now the circle in the middle is exactly in the center. So I have one of two things, either to recognize the coordinates here, which are 150 by 150, or I could also draw a line and use the middle snap to catch the center. So I'm going to do both just to demonstrate. So here's circle, center as 150, comma 150, and radius of 5 centimeters, which is 50 millimeters. So that's one way. The other way is I'm going to go back and make a line from this corner, click, to the other corner, and notice the little square that appears. This is called a snap point. Click. Now that's the line temporarily, and escape to get out of the command, and then I need to catch the middle. I don't have snap point for the middle yet, so I go to object snap, right click, and then go settings and make sure that midpoint is checked, but it is actually checked. So there it is. Now I go circle and look for the middle. See, now it's a triangle. Again, if I go back to object snap and go settings, you will see the icons or symbols used for each one of these snap points. So a little square for end point, triangle for midpoint, circle for center, and so forth. So leave that and go back again here and write 50, and that's it. There's my circle in the center, and then delete this line. It was just temporary. Now I need to use the offset command. The offset command is in the modify panel, and here is where it is. So I type, or I click on offset, and the command window says specify the offset distance. What distance do I need? If you look at the circles, you'll see that they are 2.5 centimeters away from each side of the rectangle, and they're touching the sides. So that means 25 millimeters. So I'm going to say 25, enter. Now the icon, the mouse icon changes to a square. I need to choose which object I want to offset. Now I could offset outside or inside by the same distance. If your mouse is outside, it's offsetting outside. But I want to offset inside. So once you're done, escape to get out of the command. And now I have defined the location of the centers for the 4 circles. So say circle, choose any one of the 4, and then 25 millimeter. Now let's use the copy command. Copy this object, and now if you look at the command window, it says select object. It's waiting for you to select more than one object, but in this case I want only one. So press enter or spacebar, and now it says what is the base point? Where do you want to pick the object from before you start copying? So in this case I want to pick it up from the center. So there it is again, my snap point is appearing. Click, and then make sure you snap again, second point, snap, and snap, and then escape to get out. Now choose this square, delete, and you're done as far as the part is concerned. So now let's go to dimensions. Before you do dimensions, you need to make sure that your annotation scale is set. And if you look carefully for text, it's calling for 8 millimeter instead of 5 millimeter. So you can say apply and close. Now before you put any text or any annotation, whether it's text or dimensions, you need to figure out what is appropriate scale for the drawing printout. As you can see here, it's too big. So you double click, make sure you are in model space, double click the wheel, and if you choose scale 1:1, you can see it's not appropriate. So let's try now for a scale of 1:2, and that seems to be reasonable. So this now we can work with. So now I go back to my model space and make sure that your annotation scale is also set to the same scale that you're going to print with. Why is this important? Because AutoCAD internally computes the size of the fonts so that your measurements come out accurate on paper, as far as height of the letters, the size of the arrowheads, and so forth. So now I can start with my dimensions. Remember, my modified document still has all the settings that I need. And let's do now radius. And if you want to make them all at the same angle, you can use the copy command again. Copy this, enter, pick it up from the center, pluck another one at the center here. Sometimes the center doesn't appear, so you have to touch the circumference of the circle to make it appear. Okay, and that's good. And we can do another one for the large circle. I need one more linear dimension from the center to the middle, and then another one between the bottom here and this point. Now you change to labels, and you write your name and ID, College of the North Atlantic, Qatar, EG1230 your section number, Lab 2, drawing 5, and then structure sign off. And then go to your paper and adjust as necessary to make sure that everything shows up. If you need to adjust this line, for example, click it, click this handle and bring it down a little bit. Go back to your paper. That looks good. So save it and print, get a sign off and submit. And that is basically all you need for this drawing.